to Cocktail Hour at the Coop. I'm Liz from Arrow Acres. My sister Leanne. We're in the basement, not our parents' farm, Arrow Acres Farm. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year.
I like people right now. Happy everything.
Yeah, because we have friends to celebrate everything.
Mm-hmm. Cheers. It is, what's the date? Today's the 29th of December. So we're between Christmas and New Year's.
And every single week for the month of December, either our children or us have been sick.
Oh yeah, I was really sick. And my dog was sick. I almost killed my dog, but he's okay. I was a hot mess. There goes, I touched my hair, but I have like a dark.
Drink.
So don't give your dog a pig ear, apparently.
And see, we can't give Sunny anything because
so it was really
she's
scary.
no
My
good.
little puppy. It was
my phone's supposed to be
horrible.
charging. I unplugged the charger.
Oh, so
Okay, keep talking.
thank goodness he's okay.
I'm just gonna wiggle.
Anyway, so cheers to 2022. Wrap up.
In case we need to edit. Is it charging?
I don't know. It's just
My charger's not very good.
Oh, speaking of, I want to talk about this right away. So I have show notes, but I'm already going off. So I went to Florida. We haven't recorded since Thanksgiving. So I went to Florida early December with my son's football team. They're 11 years old. 22 11-year-olds. It was mayhem. They were very good, but it was a lot. So anyway, there were a lot of nights in the hotel because it was just the two of us. He wanted to run around the hotel with his friends, obviously, and play football in the conference room. And I was tired and old, and I didn't want to party. Well, we weren't really partying. They were behaved. We had good nights, but so anyway, I was in the hotel with my laptop, my knitting. I got way into podcasts again, watching. Podcasts, and I was at Rhinebeck. Mandy and Sassy Karen told me about this girl called, it's like Hands, Wool, Needles, whatever. She had a podcast about like some top, podcasts. Oh, we weren't on there, whatever. But anyway, so I wrote them down, and I was like, oh, I follow some of these people on Instagram, but didn't realize they had a podcast. They're people that they're like us. Like, they podcast, like they forget to in the summer, or they have a baby and they don't get to it. So anyway, I started watching Emma Robinson, Woolly Mammoth, and she's in Ireland. And where was I going with this? I don't know what I say.
You went away. You had a lot of nights to yourself.
And I started watching it. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, I got back into like Vlogmas and podcasts and watching all of that. So I just did a vlog for our Patreon, which was,
I watched like the first couple Vlogmases for a few people, and then my brain space is...
We've had bad stuff going on. It's still going on. I am so impressed by the people that record every day. Edit every day, put it up. Like,
every day.
I watched that Sandy by the Lakeside.
Yeah.
She's like so calm. And I sent it to Purple Debbie. I go, you're going to love her. Because she's like you. Like everything. Like, this is how people live. This is how people think. It's amazing. I'm like a hot mess all the time. And they're just like...
I am a hot mess.
I was definitely going somewhere with my podcast story of the Woolly Mammoth. But it might come... Woolly Mammoth, not Mammoth. That was an old story.
We used to have a store called that.
But I really enjoy... Oh, I know. I know. See? So she is in Ireland, and she has a baby. And she has like a really... It looks like an Irish Wolfhound, but it's not. She'll sit just like us, like, oh, the baby's napping, so I'll sit. And she's kind of a hot mess. Like, the neighbors are shouting at each other. She's like, ooh, they're yelling at each other. Sorry. And she doesn't edit it out, and I love that about her. And then one day she was doing it, and she goes, ooh, there's a very big spider. And she just like, but she didn't cut any of it out. Like, she must not, she did Vlogmas, so she definitely edits, but her podcast, she just lets it roll. And I was like, we would be friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we would be friends because she just kind of like wings it, and it's cool. But her house, and now I want a hot water bottle, which I'm totally getting. We'll talk about that new to you. Mandy and I had a discussion yesterday about that. But anyway, we're a hot mess all the time. So
those are pretty earrings.
Rick got them for me.
They're very nice.
You know what was really good? So my husband buys me, he goes every year to Red Bank with the boys since we've been married. They take off from work and school. They go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a movie, and they shop in Red Bank. And the same store he goes to every year, to the point where he was buying me the same things, and I had to return them and get new things. And they closed. They retired.
Oh, he did.
And Dalton said that was the best thing that ever happened to Dad, because he was forced to go somewhere else. And he got me these.
I love them.
And he got me this bracelet. It's one of those
the
eyes, the Greek eye thing. So I really, not my leather one, but I really like them,
Yeah,
aren't they?
they're
And
very
you got
pretty.
me those nice earrings. Yeah, I got very nice gifts this
I know.
Christmas.
I used to manage a sterling silver and semi-precious stone store, so I always had awesome jewelry.
Awesome jewelry.
Like I always had really cool jewelry because I did the buying and merchandising and stuff. So I'm like, I barely even wear jewelry anymore, and I'm like, I think it's because I don't have like new, fun, cool stuff, and I'm like, ugh, I really need to buy myself some jewelry, but I have no money to buy jewelry, so.
But show your earrings you have on, because we'll talk about it new to you.
So I love these, and these are from Lorelei.
Yes, who is
Thank
one
you,
of our
Lorelei.
prize donors that we'll talk about for our new to you. They're beautiful, and I have a pair too that are like long. They're 3 colors this way. Her stuff is beautiful.
I think we should just start talking about new to you.
New to you. Let's do it. Let's get all this stuff out of the way before we start totally going off course, which you already did.
All right. Hashtag new to you, MAL 2023. Did we put it up there and did it work?
Who's editing? I've been pretty good lately.
You have been
by
very
the way.
good at
I'll
it.
edit. Here comes Uncle Nick.
Uncle Nick needs
Hi,
a
Uncle
drink
Nick.
too.
He comes sauntering down.
Oh, Andy made him a hat for Christmas. It's so nice. And today he's like, "Where's my hat? Where's my hat? I can't find my hat." I'm like, "You've had it for how many days?
I
You
like.
lost it already?"
So she made.
but we know where it is.
She made Nick a hat and she made Rick a hat. And she made Rick the same hat she made him a couple years ago, which he has worn to death. And he still has it. I love Nick's.
I do
It's
too.
got a double brim.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not good at that. Andy's good at it. She designed some hats with that double brim. But when I go to rejoin it, like you do a provisional cast on, and then when you rejoin it, mine always like...
It doesn't line
it
up,
doesn't,
right?
I'm not good at it. Maybe new to you, I could try that too.
There you go. And I love the decreases at the top. Like I really like the top of the hat. So we'll have to find out what
find
pattern
it and find
is.
the pattern. It's really nice. And she
And
made
show
our
you.
mom a sweater that was so
We said we were going to talk about
pretty.
new to you. We're not
Oh, yeah.
talking about it.
Okay.
Sister. Can you grab me something else also? Whatever you give me. It's just so I have it ready to go so I don't have to get up in a little bit.
All right.
Please and thank
So, new to you. Let's explain what it is for those of you that don't know. This is, I think, our 5th year of doing it, by the way. I think we did it 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I went back in our videos. I think we started either in 2018 or 2019.
Thank you, darling. Wave to the
Do you want to say hi?
Oh, wait. Let's do a plug. Our friend owns this company, Santo's Tequila. Santo.
I have a funny story about
With
this.
Guy Fieri and Sammy Hagar.
Yes.
Our children's friend's dad.
He's the hot dad.
So cute.
I have a funny story about that. He was in Florida.
At the pool?
Yes, but he was working the whole time. He's very quiet.
He's very quiet.
He doesn't really engage in much conversation, but he is the hot dad. And I was telling the story at my work dinner, forgetting that we have a guy in my department now. We have all women and we have one guy. And I started telling the story at one at the table, and I'm like, "Oh, Roy, I'm sorry." And he's kind of new. And he goes, "Well, I want to see the hot dad now." So I showed him, and she goes, "He's pretty hot dad."
Anyway, tequila, new to you. Back to new to you. Try some new tequila while you're trying out a new craft. So if you haven't been around, you don't know what we're talking about, try something new. If you're a knitter, try crochet. If you're a crocheter, try knitting. Try spinning, try felting, try weaving, try
Anything in the fiber arts.
try it.
So one time I did macrame, right?
Yeah.
I did brioche. I learned magic loop. I was trying to think of all the things I've done. I did magic loop. I did embroidery on a sweater.
Didn't you do socks?
Socks was a new to you for me?
I don't know.
I don't think so. You can do a new, if you're a sock knitter and you've never done a certain heel, do a new heel. If you cast on, always says like, this is one that I always say, tubular cast on. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Do it. Try it.
Tubular.
You don't have to finish it. You can start it. And if you're like, I hate this, that's okay. Just post a picture and use the hashtag.
This was my new to you last year. I learned mosaic crochet.
You do mosaic knitting. We have a video, which I'll link, that we did a couple years ago. It was before COVID. And you know what's so sad? We're both way skinnier.
Very skinny. I know. I sent it to someone the other day and I was like,
Wow, we were skinnier. But I'm blonde now. I was dark then. Anyway, we went through a whole bunch of stuff. Like,
we gave you like millions of ideas.
Yeah, so I'll link that.
Literally
And you can watch that old video. And so that's basically what this is all about. So you can post it on Instagram, take a picture. You can take as many pictures as you want. You can enter as many times as you want.
Yep.
We record every single person. So if you did more than one thing, you'll be in a couple times. And then I also have a Ravelry group. If you're not on Instagram, Ravelry group, which I will link below, it's Arrow Acres Farm group. I know it's confusing. We have a lot of groups, and names and stuff, but that way you can do it that way, and you can follow along.
And on Instagram, you have to do the hashtag.
Have to, or we won't know that you're in it. Like, you have to do the hashtag.
Don't forget the MAL for make along.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, so you can also follow along with hashtags. So make sure, like, when you type that in, you click follow.
Yeah.
But I also follow New to You 2023. So just in case somebody forgets it.
Yeah.
We did it without the MAL a few years ago, and we got like people their new cars and like their new hairstyle.
Yeah.
Like, people working
out. Which we should do too, but so that's what we do. And then so it starts January 1st. If you've already started, you're in. Someone wrote to me like, is it okay to start? I'm like, yeah, I don't care when you start now. And it ends February 14th. That's the last day to be entered. Then we write every single person's name down. Cut them out by hand, like old school. And then there are so many prize donors.
I think we're at about 20. And if you would like to be a prize donor, you can still contact us. So we have a random grand winner, and that person wins something from every single one of the prize donors. Now, a lot of the prize donors also will pick their favorite entry and send them something separate. So it could be digital patterns, it could be stitch markers, it could be, who knows,
a
yarn,
lot of stuff.
It could be anything. Whatever the prize donors want to send you, that's what they're going to send you.
Yeah. So here's a list, and I will put them all at the bottom so you guys can go check them out. They're all super talented, and some are makers, some are podcasters, some are small business owners. So go and support them. They're awesome. They've been with us for years. I don't know if we have anybody new. We do have some new. We do have new. And it's just great. And it's just
we have some previous winners.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, we've got a little everybody.
All right. So we have Liz. We have me. We have Paige at Paige the Framer. She is our friend that owns Frame and Fiber in Point Pleasant.
She was the three of us. We originally came up with this idea together.
Yeah, we used to go to dinner.
We have to.
But
we
then
still
I
have
was
a business
sick.
meeting.
We still need
to go.
Then we have Robin at the Knit and Coop. She owns a store in Virginia. We have Lorelei. She makes the gorgeous jewelry. She also sews project bags that are she's like crazy talented. We met at Rhinebeck one year. Just one of those, hey, in the food barn, I think. And now we're friends, and so check her out. We have Andrea at Woolen Women Fibers. She dyes her own yarn, super talented. We have Andrea at, another Andrea.
Two Andreas.
Andrea Crazy for the number knitting. We have Susie at Fiber MacGyver. She, I believe, was a grand prize winner one year. We have Bonnie at Meadow Sweet Farms. She's one of our patrons too.
Yes, she is.
We have Karen at Sassy Karen 63. She's got a number. She's not just Sassy Karen. Anyway, she's a knitter. She's donating a prize out of the goodness of her heart. We have Kevin.
We have a few of them.
Yes, we do. We have Kevin and Ray at Needles at the Ready. Their podcast is fantastic, and they're so much fun. And we're going to be neighbors next year at Rhinebeck if they get that same house.
Yes.
We have Kate at Kate Solomon. She is one of the wonderful women that works at Green Mountain Spinnery. I'm super excited that she's joining us. John, we've got Johnny Bow.
You guys all know Aquila's
You may
husband, Johnny
get a
Bow,
cast iron skillet. He's not so sure what he's sending, but he's going to hook you guys up, and I am sure whatever he sends, you will be thrilled. We have Denise at Earth Tones Girl. She is the sock person. If you want to learn how to knit socks, she will help you.
Yes.
She has like tutorials, and she's like podcasts, and she's just the sweetest. We have Carolyn at Bloom Handmade Studio, who is also like stupid talented.
And she does the awesome embroidering on her knitting and
if
crocheting.
you've never done that would be an awesome
good
thing to learn. We have Tedi and Rachel at Grace and Pearl. They are a new local yarn store here, and they have a brand new podcast. They've had like 3 episodes, and I was in the store shopping. That's where I got you your Christmas presents. And really sweet girls. Teddy's mom owns the store, and the 2 of them were history majors. Both have their master's degree in history. Met through a mutual friend, and now they do a podcast, and it's really cool. They talk about knitting and history, and they're just really sweet girls. We have Lisa at Feederbrook Farm.
Hopefully she's sending something.
We should get commission on. We have Shana at Shana Lines Designs, who we met at Rhinebeck. Super fun. We laughed our butts off with her. She designs patterns. And then we have Shaylee at Hens, Chicks, and Fiber Art, or at Hens and Chicks Fiber Arts.
She was a winner years ago.
Yeah,
she was
right.
I think she was one of my personal picks.
Did she spin?
She was doing
she was at Rhinebeck cranking the yarn.
And she was doing demos at Rhinebeck. So I think a lot of you met her. She was in the food barn cranking.
Yeah. And she made us our little mittens, right? And she made it with the hand spun stuff. Yeah. So, and then we have Sarah at Green Goat Ranch, and she's donating a spindle and some of her own fiber that she has from her farm. So,
and then we have a few other friends.
We have an anonymous donor.
She's anonymous.
Oh, all right. Well,
she's anonymous. Our friend Jones,
just Jones.
She's trying to de-stash, and she kind of went a little crazy over COVID. I think she said.
Yes.
Oh, she thought she was buying like one skein, and she bought like
clocks and toes and a club,
and she got a lot of them. So she has I forget what the brand. It's upstairs.
I definitely know it. Because one's for me too.
Yeah, they're upstairs.
Yeah, one's for the prize, one's for me.
So we'll have lots of stuff.
Okay. Who is it? Like, it's a big name.
It's a big name.
But anyway, so
not Lola Bean, right? It's not Lola Bean, is it? Well, you'll find out when you win.
It might be. But so just think about that. You'll win something from every single person just listening. And these are
and it's not just one person who wins. Like, that many people might pick. I know almost everybody is going to pick their favorite.
We do. And we also discuss. So we make sure
that 3 of us don't pick the same person.
So we all say I picked this, and they're like, cool. And usually a lot of times we're like, oh, I liked her too, or I liked what he was doing. And so, but we do discuss all that and make sure. And then we send it directly to you. We usually keep it to America, to the United States.
But
we could do
overseas patterns and stuff like that. And I know. So a lot of people that I have been on my dyeing sites that I follow on Facebook have been saying they've been having so many issues with the duties. Like the duties, the taxes and...
Sorry, I live with boys. You said duty.
The taxes and duties and fees when you go to pick up stuff in Canada. So I don't know if you're Canadian and stuff and you want to input.
And we could always send you digital stuff. Like we could send you patterns, All right. Oh, and usually Andy, our sister, usually donates too.
I asked her and she never responded, so... We'll get Andy to send you something.
Andy will send you a pattern.
We'll send you one Andy sends.
Andy KF. Okay, so that's that. That's our make along. And then do you know what you're making? Because I do know now what I am making.
So it's upstairs. I do know what I'm doing. So our friend Carrie is going Wanderlust, and she de-stashed her whole life.
Yes, her whole life.
Her whole life. And
including people. She just was like, I'm done with you. I'm done with this.
So we love Carrie, and Carrie de-stashed a lot of her crafty stuff to us. And she gave me one of the little rectangle peg looms.
Oh yeah, okay, like what Mom makes.
Yeah, but it's the little one for socks and some sock yarn. So I'm gonna try, but also Valerie had given you yarn in Maryland to give to me, and that sock yarn, and I thought that would be really nice because I've been looking for the perfect project to make with the yarn that Valerie gave me. So I think I'm gonna try to make socks on the knitting loom from Valerie and Carrie. And then my other thing is that Nick bought me a cyanotype kit for Christmas.
He did?
He did. And I had 2 canvas project bags, so I already mixed the stuff, and I washed my canvas project bags, and I'm going to try it on fabric and paper. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go to Pinterest right now. Cyanotype.
Yes. And I'll link it.
Cyanotype.
I'll link it. You send me what you're making, and then I'll link it. So let me see.
Wait, I got to tell you more about it, though.
Oh, go ahead. I'm going to find what I'm doing.
So the other day, you can hear I'm a little stuffy. I haven't been feeling great. So I'm sitting on the couch scrolling like the day after Christmas, and I'm looking at Pinterest, and I'm like, oh, this is so Paige. So it's cyanotype, it's chemical reactions. You paint the stuff on, you lay flowers on it, or whatever you want, but flowers. We did see some, I showed Nick some lacy lingerie ones. And then you put it out in the sun and for the exposure, and then you take the flowers off, you rinse it for 5 minutes, and where the flowers were, there's no pigment, and where the sun hit turns like an indigo blue.
Yeah.
Well, it was on fabric, and then somebody embroidered on it, and it looked like Paige's embroidery. And she was like, "Oh yes," and I was like,
"Did you send it to her?"
So I was like, "You got to try this." So she wants to try it too. So I told her to try, and then she was like, "Greeting cards." I was like, "Yes, we need to like do the embroidery on the fabric, and then embroider it, and then scan it, and make awesome greeting cards." Done.
Perfect. And I can do the graphic part of putting it all together.
Yes. And my other thing, I'm gonna hopefully design a sweater for Rhinebeck. My Rhinebeck sweater.
Yeah. We'll talk about mine. Mine's in the basket here. So I'm gonna do two things. I've been watching, again, like I told you, Emma Robinson on Woolly Mammoth, and she's in Ireland, and she always has like a hot water bottle on her lap because it's cold there. And my house was built in like the 1800s, and it's cold in my house all the time. So I was like, I want one of those, and I'm watching a new show. Bad Sisters on Apple TV.
It's on Apple. I don't have Apple right now.
I love it, but I can't watch it when Chase is in the room and he's home this week. So, but anyway, they go swimming. It's in Ireland. They go swimming in the freezing cold, all of them. And I've seen that, like, and they bring their hot water bottles, like, and I'm like, I want one of those. So the girl on that, Emma Robinson, she made the cozy water bottle cover, and it's Fair Isle. So I'm going to get myself a water bottle, and I'm going to make it a cozy. But that's not new to me. I mean, I know a hot water bottle, but so I download, it's free. The cast on is new. I've never done it. It's like Judy's Magic.
I have an alert. I have to get rid of it. It's
oh, it says that we have our Zoom in a half hour, which we do. We got to wrap. We got to talk quick.
We got plenty of time.
So anyway, the cast on is new to me. So that's new. That's like a new technique. So that's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to get a hot water bottle. Mandy uses one every single night, she said. She goes, go right now and buy one. The other thing.
I use the ice bag.
I have an ice bag too for my foot. I'm so old. This blanket called the Did you see this blanket? This is called the Nectar blanket. Do you see it? Oh my gosh. So it's all hexagons.
I love that.
And then it reminds me of like your Ziggy in a way. So they're all, and you can just work on them as like pieces.
I'm finding that I really love those little piecework projects.
And it's like quilting is like piece. I used to love, like I hand piece everything. But so they're hexagons, and there's like half hexagons. So there's different versions. Like there's the solid one, and then there's one with all like, you can use all like minis, use sock yarn. You can use any weight yarn also. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's my new pattern.
And
like that.
So I posted it last night on, here's the other one. Here's the one in different colors.
Oh.
Like, come on, right? Look at that.
That's so
Do
pretty.
You see that?
It's like the colors of my sweater or neutrals.
So I posted it
neutral.
on Instagram last night because I've never done anything like that where there's pieces and then you put them together. I've done a sweater pieces, but never a blanket. And Kate, Kate, who's my online girlfriend. We're gonna meet, me and you, Kate. We're gonna meet in real life someday. Isn't it funny how you like, you know, you like, there's people you chat with and you're like, we're gonna meet someday and we're gonna be friends. Like we talk about, she and I talk about some like real stuff too. But anyway, she was like, oh my God, I'm obsessed too. I was laying in bed looking at all of them. The reason I found it was I'm pretty sure, you know how Ravelry puts like on their first page, like there's stuff that you may like, or patterns or something.
Hot right now? Not that.
Not hot right now, but I think it's like picked for you, or like they have the articles on the left, and then I think it was there.
Do you look on your computer or on your phone?
Oh, well, I do a lot on my computer because I'm on my computer all day long, and it's easier for me. I'd rather be on my computer to do everything.
Because I find that
I'm on my
Ravelry
computer
is a totally different experience on the computer
I
versus
am
on
definitely a computer person. I will be on my phone if I have to do that stuff. But since I work all day long on my laptop, it's always right there and I can just... But anyway, so it must have been popped up because why would she and I both see it like in the next couple of days and be obsessed? So that's my 2 things I'm doing for New to You. If I get around to another thing, I will. There's been years where I do like a ton and there's years I do nothing.
Yep.
Like not nothing, but I always do something.
Last year I had a hard time.
Last year I just did brioche. Last year we had a rough...
We had a rough year. It's been a year, and I think it's going to be another year.
We put the dog down and... Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some bad news that's still happening.
So, yeah.
So
Taking it in stride. Taking it in stride, right? We're making the best of things.
Sure. We are. Anyway.
And having a cocktail while we're doing it. Cheers.
There was a lot of good this year too, though.
There was a lot of great, you know.
You gotta remember the good stuff, and you know, there's
Stay
always
positive about the bad stuff, right?
Yes, sure.
Stay positive.
Sure.
I busted my knee. It feels better now.
Oh yeah, you did that too.
I did that too. Yes, it's been a year. Wait, we gotta get to like our favorite. We're gonna recap. Since we're talking about that, let's recap.
All right, we'll recap and then we'll come back because we have our
What
Patreon Zoom at 7 and it's 6:35. Well, I have a couple of things I want to show that I'm knitting right now. I have whips, FOs, and we're gonna wrap up. We can do it. We can do it. It'll force us to be like this. So
I have one whip.
In 25 minutes, we have our Patreon Zoom night. So if you guys don't know what that is, we do it Patreon, and then twice a month we Zoom, and it's fun. And we have a long night where we're just looking at night. Then we have cocktail hour. That's usually short. That's like
it's like 40, an hour, 40 to an hour and a half, baby.
And we also started a book club. So we have a book that we pick and we talk a little bit about it. It's not like heavy duty. It's not like, oh, I didn't read it.
And we don't read like heavy duty books.
No.
We put 3 or 4 to choose from.
Yeah, and we pick it and then switch. So anyway.
And I didn't even read last month's book.
And I tried to read this month's, but I didn't finish, and whatever. That's a whole different.
What was this month's?
The Hunting Party. And I can't listen. I tried to listen, but I have like, so I know you have reading comprehension issues, like reading a book, and like my Garrett does.
I used to when I was little. I don't know that I have it as much
if
anymore.
I listen, I have no reading comprehension.
Yeah, but what are you doing while you read it? While you're listening?
I will only listen now if I'm walking the dog.
I actually can't really listen when I'm walking the dog because I'm paying attention to the dog. No, I take that back. I listen when I walk the dog.
But you do when you clean the poop?
Yeah, I do.
I can listen when I drive, and I never drive anywhere.
I listen while I grocery shop.
I can't, no.
But I notice that I can't listen, like I can't start a book while I'm grocery shopping because like it goes, I'm focusing too much on it.
Nope.
So it's gotta be like something that I'm already into.
Can't do it.
Can't start
do
a
it.
book.
Then
I can't end a book. And I have been in the store with like fantastic books and something really sad happens and you just want to cry and you can't because you're shopping for like oranges.
That's what happened to me on the plane one time, and the woman was watching Downton Abbey when Sybil dies, and I was like, and I see the woman like, and I'm like, have you ever seen that one? She's like, no. I'm like, I was gonna be like, that's the saddest episode.
Don't watch that episode.
Ever. And you're on a plane. She was like, with her scarf. She was like, I want to watch that.
We gotta go faster.
Okay. All right. So.
Or we're gonna come back and be real sloppy.
Whips. I'm making the Felix cardigan, which I'm loving. I went to UMass to pick up my son for holiday winter break, and I ran into Northampton to Webb's, and I already knew that I wanted this yarn. So this is my Magnolia Bloom cardigan.
Her Rhinebeck bust.
My Rhinebeck that I didn't wear to Rhinebeck, but I wore it for Christmas.
So
I wore it to
pretty.
my Christmas party. I wore it to Christmas Eve. And I wore it to work for my Christmas party. We were going out to dinner that night, and it was like the most comfortable sweater I've worn in my entire life.
Yeah.
So I knew
I
knew I wanted more of this yarn, and I knew I was going to make a Felix cardigan. Like I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So this color was on discount. I knew it was on discount.
It is so soft.
So I went to Northampton, went into Webb's, left the dog and Garrett in the car, and I said, I'm going in. I know exactly what I want. I know where it is. I will be right back.
I love it.
I had to walk. First time I went to Webb's, I was a little overwhelmed, and my husband was with me. I was just like, what is this store? Because the front's like a yarn store, and the back's like a warehouse, and I was so confused. Then I knew what it was. I literally walked in like this. Don't look at anything. Don't look at anything. Don't look at anything. Because they have every single yarn you've ever wanted to touch, see, buy. They have it all. Every single thing is there. And
I'm really surprised at how it's wearing and that it's not, I would have thought it would have been super pilly.
well, I haven't worn it much yet.
You have. You've worn it enough times.
Yeah, and I wore it to Smithville.
You've worn it enough times for it to be super pilly, and it's not.
So anyway, this is it. I finished the body. I'm working on the sleeve, and I have to do, you pick up for the button band and for the collar. Now, did I buy enough yarn? I don't think so.
Oh.
Because that's what I do. Because I'm thinking, it says how many yards, so I buy it. But I measured myself, and we've talked about this before. I have very big circumference on my arms. So I have the arm of a bigger person, but the rest of me is not as big. So I did like this part, the raglan, which has these little like leafy things, which is really pretty. I did it for the extra large size, but then I did the rest for the large. Mm-hmm. So this fits me perfect, this sleeve right now, right? So because I did that, I'm not going to have enough yarn.
It's so pretty.
And I have to get buttons. So that's my whip. And
yeah, I think the buttons Mom gave us for Christmas will be too heavy.
Too heavy. Yep, I'm going to get different buttons. But I started it a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Super easy. Fast. Like you don't even have to think. I love stuff like that. So that's that.
Do you have any other whips?
No, that's it.
I have a whip.
Look at this is my whip. I have a corkscrew from my mother, and I said their corks are for quitters, but not with a big bottle. You better use it.
So our wonderful friend Joan had she invited all the knitting friends to our house and then had a big leak, so we couldn't go. And then we rescheduled and everybody was sick.
I couldn't
So
go.
only a couple of us went. And our friend Lara went, and she is so nice that she brought gifts for everybody, just because gifts. And then at the end of the night, we find out it's her birthday, and she brought her own birthday cake. So it was a surprise party for all of us. And anyway, she stayed with us in Rhinebeck, and I saw the Miss Babs colorway. It was called Harvest Plenty for her Rhinebeck color this year, and I was like, oh, it's so pretty. But it wasn't on my shopping list, and I was trying to be really, 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 really good, and I didn't buy it. And then like I kept seeing it, I was like, oh, it's so pretty. And then Lara showed us that she was like, oh, I got home and I like kicked myself that I hadn't bought it, and I was like, oh, I'm kicking myself that I didn't buy it. Well, she bought me a skein. So I was like, I have to do something really special with it.
It's so pretty.
This is the color. Let's see. Ooh, a little blown out. Go on our website and look. And then I knew exactly what I wanted to make. So the only thing is,
it's like my shift.
But I didn't do it. It's worked flat, then seamed, and then I'm doing a ribbing around the top. So it's a whip. And I just started, so it needs to be wider, but it does fit really nicely. So
did you come up with this? This is your own pattern? It's like a bandana shifts cowl kind of.
So I've been loving that shape and everything. So ready? I'll
stuck on my fancy cork.
I now might get stuck on my 90s hair clip.
I have one of those right here.
So look, I can go this way, or I could like the shift style, or I can do it this way.
Oh, I love it.
And so this yarn is fine because I like how it is, but so I'm working on the ribbing now. So I'm like only to right there. It's hard to see with all this stuff underneath. But I love it. It's one of those things that like I knew what I wanted to do.
With tassels too.
So that's what I was thinking.
Fringe,
little fringies, I think. It was like one of those weird things where like I had it in my head. So there's the little ribbing at the top. It'll look different, I think, in a solid too, but I love the color of this. I like had it in my head and I wasn't sure if it was going to work. And I was like trying to figure out, because I knew I wanted to do the top edge and I wanted it to be a triangle and I wanted it to be like working this way. And I was like, it's kind of like a zigzag, like a chevron, and I know how to do a chevron, so how can I do it? Like, how can I start small and get bigger? And I figured it out, and it literally worked the first time. So I'm like really, really excited about it. It needs a name.
It down, so you know
I wrote it all down. It needs a lot of editing right now. And it's customizable. You can use any weight yarn and any size hook. So the pattern isn't like number specific. You don't need X amount of stitches, which
Very
I
nice.
really like.
Very pretty.
So making that, and that's all I have.
Okay.
I have no finished objects. I got nothing.
All right. This is my whip, but we can talk about that another time.
Yeah,
let's
do
go
that
into
another
our
time.
thank you. Our
year end.
year ends. Oh, and a thank you. Thank you to everyone that's been donating yarn and needles and all this stuff. I've been getting boxes and shipments from you guys, and I'm overwhelmed, and it's awesome. And we're sending it to the seniors.
Not overwhelmed in a bad way. In a good way.
No, in a wonderful, wonderful way. The seniors are beyond, like, they're so happy. We're going to do a whole story, and it's going to be great. And Stacy from Soap Sacks donated 250 soap sacks to our seniors at our affordable housing, and I dropped that off, and my car smelled so nice on the way to work.
It does.
That day.
I know. I
was like, oh, it smells so nice.
I had soap sacks in my car for the food donation that I did for the guild, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I should put lots of soap in my car all the time. Then it would smell nice.
So I'm excited. We're going to do a nice story with all that stuff. So thank you again. If you want to donate in the last podcast, I'll put it in this one too. My address, you can send it to me, and we will get it to our seniors who are beyond thrilled. So thank you. All right. So we're going to wrap up 2022 because we did it last year with our favorite things that happened and did and blah, blah, blah. So we came up with our...
it's a quick list.
We came up with our things and our questions, but we don't know each other's answers. So I wonder if any of them are the same.
Maybe.
I didn't pick, but some I don't have just one. I had like two.
Same with me.
Okay. All right. So what's first on our list?
Movies.
Okay. So I don't watch a lot of movies, but I do, but I don't, but they're like bad. Like I watch Hallmark movies and bad stuff. So I'm actually going to pick the one that I watched last night, not because it's just fresh in my head, but it was one of the best movies I've ever seen, and that is The Fabelmans. We rented it last night.
Mom loved it also.
And
Mom and Aunt Kathy went to see it and loved it.
I thought it was an incredible story. I thought Michelle, what's her name?
Williams.
Was amazing. Her acting was like, she's from Dawson's Creek. Like, look at her now. I mean, she's done a lot of stuff. But that was great. I just thought everything about it was great. It was a little long. I did fall asleep last night, but I watched it this morning when I was drinking my coffee.
So I'm also gonna, I'm not gonna go with what I watched yesterday. So for Christmas.
No memory.
For Christmas, my mom got our little kids, like my two, her little one, a trip to Atlantic City to go gamble. Just kidding. She took them. Well, I went with her. Leah was supposed to go. Whatever.
My puppy was dying,
sick,
so I had to stay home.
He's not dying. He's fine. So we went to Atlantic City. We went to see Avatar on IMAX, and it was so good. And it was 3 hours and 12 minutes, but it was. You were entertained the whole time. It was a really good movie. So I loved it just because like the kids loved it, and then we went out for dinner, and then we went to Bass Pro Shop, so that was fun. But I wouldn't say it was my favorite movie of the year, but it was a really good movie. I don't know. I didn't pick a movie. I couldn't.
All right. Well, I'm going with Fabelmans. All right. What's next on our list?
Shows.
I have a couple.
I went with one. I narrowed it down. Only
All right.
Murders in the Building.
Me too! It's my first one. Only Murders in the Building. But I have other ones. But some of them... Okay. I have that. Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Handmaid's Tale.
Yep. Like, that's when I'm like, it's Wednesday!
Yeah. Okay, this is so my kids were home and I'm like, what did I watch? And I'm like, they're like, I don't know, we were at college. I'm like, you're right, you were at college. But what was I was like, because like olden days when it was like, it's Thursday night, you know? So Handmaid's Tale, Only Murders in the Building. Those were the two that I'm like, I have shows on tonight. I get the TV. I have, and this is not new, it's called The Midwives. So I watched it years ago, stopped, and I did Midwives. And I'm in the last season. I'm just starting the last season. And
so good.
Yellow Jackets, I watched this year.
I didn't like it as much as you liked it.
Yellow Jackets.
You and Mom loved it.
That was one I couldn't stop watching.
You guys hyped it up so much, though, that I was like, oh, it's good. But
But now Garrett is on me, like, every day. Ted Lasso, Mom. Ted Lasso. Because I have Apple TV right now.
Ted Lasso. I think Ted Lasso is one of my favorite shows I've ever seen.
That's what Garrett says. He's like, Mom,
Ted Lasso
British.
On my list.
It's soccer. It's the
quick, witty humor.
He's like, you're gonna love it. So
it's great.
We have Apple TV right now for 3 months for free. So I have to watch that.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. Ted Lasso.
All right. So favorite book. I have two.
I have two authors, I guess.
And how many did you read or listen to?
I tallied them all up. You say what you read.
27 and a half. I didn't finish our book.
80. It's a lot of books.
I thought you were going to say 60.
80.
You read like 2 to 3 a week.
So January, I listened to 3.
How do you keep track? Is it on Goodreads?
It's on Libby.
Oh, I do everything on Goodreads. And I star them. I rate them.
I didn't count all the ones that I didn't finish either.
Excuse me.
So I started some and didn't finish them too.
I have DNFs on here. I didn't finish them.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a quitter. But I did 3, then 4, then 4, then 3.
But my opinion, don't finish it. It's a lot of time.
Yeah, but I read 14 in like September. And 12 in...
Kids were back to school.
And 12 in November. I was busy making things.
And you listen.
And I was busy making things. So like I'm like
listen.
sitting and making and just like banging out.
Did we get Mom set up with that yet?
No.
Okay.
We need to get her some headphones to listen to.
So what was your favorite?
So my top ones were, I really loved the Heather Morris book. So Tattoos of Auschwitz, Silka's Journey, and Three Sisters. Like they were heavy. I loved them. Like I couldn't wait to turn it on. And then for something funny that was suggested to us that I really enjoyed were the Finlay Donovan books.
Oh yeah,
Finlay
those
Donovan
are good.
Killing It and Knocks 'Em Dead. They were just like silly, fun, quick, easy. And then I listened to a ton of cheesy romantic comedies.
Oh, I have on here the Mulberry whatever.
Yeah, that was
Mulberry
terrible.
Hollow.
That was Hallmark. But like I had like it's like I just listened to in the holidays. And that was super cute. And I looked, so I was like, oh, this was great. Like, I loved it. I couldn't wait to turn it on.
The Unhoneymooners is the same author, and I have that in book form. Would you read a book, though? No.
But she has a couple on Libby, so I put them all on hold.
Everything, when we pick our book club books, so I pick like 3 that you can pick from for our Patreon. I make sure it's on Libby before I put it on there. So
one of the ones you pick. So then I also go on the ones that you do for our Patreon. I usually put them like all of them on hold.
I did the same thing.
And one was like an 8-week hold.
Yeah.
So
it's okay. But you know what? I've had that. And then if people don't.
Yeah. Like I finish
people
quick.
do that too. Or people are like, I don't really want
it. I put like, I actually like checked out like 4 books this week. So.
Yeah. Okay. So I have 2 favorites. I have Nora Goes Off Script.
That was good. I like that
too. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was cute and it was not totally expected. It was like, it's cute. I love that one. And the Yellow Wife, really.
That's
that was
not
one
on Libby.
Oh, that's one that stayed with me and will stay with me forever and ever and ever. I'll never forget that book. It's based on a real person.
Oh, I just started a book that might be my favorite.
But I read a lot. But what I'm going to do is, and if you have, do you have your list? Because I was going to write all mine with my stars. I was going to put it on my thing, like if you, or I'm on Goodreads. If you go to Goodreads, Leanne Coppola on Goodreads, and then you can, you have a lot. I have 27.
I put them on Patreon at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I put on what I've made and what I've listened to.
But if you go to Goodreads, I do always do a star and I like review. So if you find that you like the same books as me, then. And please tell me what you like, because I'm always looking for good books. All right, so that's that. We did movies, we did shows. Your favorite thing you made?
My sweater! I love my sweater.
I love your sweater too.
Even with its modifications.
It's not a pattern. No, it is a pattern.
It is. It's the mosaic jumper.
So here.
And the sleeves. And the rest is waistcoat stitch.
My favorite make, I made 2 of them, was my shift cowl. Yep. I made the shift cowl for myself over the summer, and I made one for our mom for Christmas. And it is a joy to knit. Like, I'm never bored. That's what I like about knitting, that you're never bored.
And that's mosaic, right?
It's mosaic knitting.
So if you've never tried mosaic knitting,
do the shift.
Cowl.
And that's the reason I made the shift was I had a woman who, I wonder if she finished it. I bet she didn't, Nancy. She contacted me. I taught her years ago, and she said, I want to learn mosaic knitting. I was like, okay, sounds good. So I was like, let me find a mosaic knitting pattern that would be good. And the shift came up. I'm like, let's make that. So we started it together in our lesson, and I went to town, and I never put it down. So I've made 2, and that is definitely my favorite knit of the year. All right, favorite fiber, like memory, but has something to do with like fiber.
Running into Mandy on the mountain.
That's her online girlfriend.
Whether you like it or not, Mandy, you're my online girlfriend.
We invited her to come to the Rhinebeck house. Never met her ever. She drives like, I don't know, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, a long way.
We're driving up this mountain to find this house.
So we drive back down the mountain. And I'm like, is that Joan? And I say, it's Mandy!
We never met before. We're all lost. And then she talks to some mountain man. So it was like, what are my favorite? Meeting Mandy on the mountain, and when we played our game in our Rhinebeck house. We laughed.
Yeah. Everything about Rhinebeck.
I laughed so hard that night. We played a game called Fishbowl.
I needed that. I needed that good laugh at Rhinebeck too.
And it was about pickled pepperoni, which also had to do with Mandy's. It's like a charades game we played, but we had a really good time. And then you had one more that you had.
But I don't have an answer for mine yet. So my other one was your favorite fiber purchased or gift. So either something you gifted or you received as a gift or you purchased.
Well, this is from a fiber friend. It has nothing to do with fiber. Lara gave me... I don't know if we've talked about it on here. I don't think we have. So, like, you know how girls are supposed to, like, wash their face and have skincare routines? Yeah, we didn't grow up with that, and, like, we don't do that.
We just go
to bed, wake up in the morning, and
peppermint Castile soap.
That can also clean your stove.
And your floors. It's real good for your skin.
We use the same soap that you can literally do laundry, clean your floors, and clean your stove with. So I mentioned this on one of the Zooms, and our friend Lara was like shuddered.
At the surprise birthday party.
She gifted me a little starter kit of Kiehl's face wash stuff, and I can't tell you how much I enjoy it every day. I'm like, I can do my face. I do my whole little thing. It only takes like 3 minutes. Do the whole thing. My mask is 3 days a week. I sit there. I love it. I love it. And yesterday Rick said, your skin looks so nice. You have makeup on? I'm like, no. He's like, but you look different. I'm like, it's my skincare routine. I love it so much. So that was my favorite. It was from a fiber friend, not fiber.
Honestly.
And Lara's the winner. Lara wins the
I think it's my Miss Babs yarn because, it was one of those things, like, I saw it and I really it was just so crazy busy and I didn't know what I was buying and I was really trying to buy with purpose at Rhinebeck this year and I didn't have a purpose for it. And I was like, oh, but it was so pretty. And then Lara was working with it one night and I was like, oh. And she's making my Rhinebeck ruffle scarf in it. And it looks so pretty. So I think Lara wins.
Lara wins.
Lara wins.
You're the winner. Call it Lara something.
Oh, yeah.
Name it after Lara. Or like friend something, like something like that. You have to name it something.
Lara's Harvest. I'll come up with something.
Oh.
I keep calling it the Christmas cowl because I started it like it's Christmas.
But you can't do that because then it's just
no, because that's too Christmassy and it's not Christmassy. Okay.
All right. Well, that's it because we gotta hop on our Zoom in like 3 minutes. We got all our buddies hopping on.
If you'd like to join Patreon, just go to Patreon. We have all different levels.
Yeah, you can do cocktail hour for only $3 a month.
And if you guys are patrons, we've revamped our things because it's been a year. So we revamped all the tiers, and everyone is welcome to the cocktail hour.
Yeah.
So. Like one Zoom a month, everyone is welcome to come. So please join us. We'd love for you to. And go on and check and see, just see what's going on.
Yeah, we have a good time.
I love it.
I love it too.
all of our friends.
All right, I think that's it.
All right,
yeah.
Cheers to 2022.
And
let's hope 2023 is
good.
Good. Let's go with good.
Let's go with good.
Let's just go with good. Let's not be overachievers.
No, just
good.
Good. Let's just be good. We can do it. All right, bye everybody. See you soon.
Happy New Year!